Hi, I'm Rick, and I'm going to list what devices I think make a good smart home without spending a fortune. Make sure you stay tuned to the end of the video for the last item because this is the one I personally recommend the most. Whether you're just starting your smart home or looking to build on it, I do think this is one of the best items you can have in your home and it doesn't cost too much. And before we get started, if you could please hit like and subscribe just to help the channel to grow and more people be able to see these videos. So let's get straight into it. Number 5, smart plugs. They make devices that aren't smart. You can plug these into lamps and then your lamps become smart lamps. Obviously, you're not able to dim them, but you are able to have them turn on and off at certain times of the day. And also you're able to set routines. So even if you're not home, the lights could come on for you arriving home, or they could just come on to give the effect that you are home to ward off thieves, or if you just don't like your house looking unattended. So this smart plug is a Zigbee plug. You can get Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi is much cheaper. Depending on your router and how many devices you can put on there, Wi-Fi may be the option for you. If you just have your normal internet service provider router, then you may be best off with a Zigbee hub and a few of these. They're great. I use them all throughout my house and I never have any issues with them. Definitely recommend picking up some plug sockets. Number 4. So the next thing is smart bulbs. If you like home automation, you're definitely going to want to pick up some smart bulbs because they're able to set sort of mood lighting scenes in your house for different times of the day. If you wanted to relax, if you wanted to watch a movie, you want these different sort of light settings just to be able to enhance whatever mood is you're going for at that time. And lights really help to do this. So I would definitely recommend picking up some lights, whether that's Wi-Fi again or Zigbee. I personally have Zigbee, but whatever your budget allows. I first started off with a few Wi-Fi bulbs, and only when I started to increase the amount did I start sort of switching to Zigbee. So maybe that could be an option for you also. If you already have quite a few Wi-Fi bulbs, if you're noticing a lag on your internet, then maybe switch to Zigbee, maybe 1 or 2 devices, and then build it up over time. So it just works out more affordable, not too expensive. Pick 1 or 2 of them up a month. That's what I did. I didn't buy them all in bulk because I don't have that kind of money. I'm guessing most people don't, which is why in my home and on this channel, I will be trying to find cheap alternatives just because I don't think having a smart home should cost you a fortune. Just pick up what you can, when you can, and before you know it, your smart home will start to take shape and come together and you'll have a lot of devices without spending a big lump sum all at once. Number 3. So number 3 is the Broadlink RM Pro. If you haven't seen one of these before, these are a great item. And what they do is they control RF devices and infrared devices. So you could use it for things like your TV. You can have it control the volume. You could have it turn your TV on and off. You could also use it like I do for my fireplace because my fireplace is on a smart plug socket, but my fireplace isn't smart. I can switch it on, but even switching it on at the plug socket doesn't actually turn the fire on. It needs a remote to press the on button, which became a bit annoying and I wanted it to just work. So what I did was I used my RM Pro, inputted the remote into that, and now my RM Pro is in a routine with that socket. So when I tell Amazon's voice assistant to turn the fire on, it turns on the socket, and then a few seconds later, it sends an infrared signal from the RM Pro to turn on the fire in place of the remote, so that it just works and the remote is no longer needed. It's just easier, it's just simpler. You're not trying to find a remote all the time, it just works. So you can also use the Broadlink RM Pro to control RF plug sockets. Now RF works through walls, so you're able to put these throughout your house anywhere you want. It's a great way to get started because they're so cheap. You can pick packs of these up on Amazon and they're not much at all. I'll leave a link in the description below if you wanted to have a look for yourself. And these can be controlled exactly the same way as the smart sockets. So you can ask your Amazon assistant to turn them on, turn them off. You can set up routines for them. Now, the only issue that you do come across is because these items aren't actually smart, when you go into the app and you have a look, you aren't able to see if that device is on or if it's switched off because it just doesn't know. One thing you can do to try and get around it is in your routine, you could say, make sure you send the off signal twice or send the on signal twice to make sure, just give it a second chance to try and get that if it doesn't get it on the first try. That's an easy thing to do to set up in the Alexa app. If you are going to buy some RF plug sockets, the one thing I would say is to make sure you get the ones with the on and off switch separate. So this is just so you're not accidentally toggling between on and off, especially if you send in the signal twice to make sure it's worked. It just makes everything a lot easier if you have a separate power on button and a separate power off button for them sockets. Most of them do on Amazon, but just make sure you do get them ones because they will work best. Number two. Number two is the most expensive item on this list, but there are still lots of budget items available for this, and that is the robot vacuum. These are just cool. I don't know if that's just me. I just really like the fact that I can vacuum and I don't have to be here. I can just set it up, come home, the work's already done, it's returned itself to its dock. I have the Roborock Max Plus. Now, I paid around £360 for this, so obviously that's on the sort of mid-range of the vacuums, but you can pay a lot cheaper depending on what your budget is. So there's quite good budget options from Wifi that would work really well. The thing you're paying for when you start to pay more is the navigation gets better. I can only speak for the Roborock, which I've had no issues with, really happy with it. I actually got the one with the dock so that the waste can be emptied into it, just because then I don't have to empty the waste sort of every day from the unit because it is a small waste unit inside. I can now leave that for 2 months and then just empty it. It just makes things so much easier. But if you're on the fence about getting a robot vacuum, I definitely recommend trying one. I'm really happy with mine. If you are interested in one, get one that's within your budget. Have a look on Amazon, read some of the reviews. I'll leave a link to mine in the description below, but honestly, buy one that's in the right budget for you. And it's not a really needed item, but it is a cool item, especially if you're into home automation. There is nothing better than just being able to tell a robot to clean your house. Number one. If you've stuck around till this point of the video, I really appreciate it. The number one item I recommend, and it's a simple one, is the Amazon Echo 4th Gen. Why the 4th Gen specifically? Because it has the Zigbee hub built into it. The Zigbee hub is also built into the Echo Show 10, the Echo Plus. The reason I've chose the 4th Gen is just, again, it's a budget issue. I didn't have the money to buy an Echo Show 10, but I did have the money to buy a 4th generation Echo with the built-in Zigbee hub, especially when it's on offer, which is multiple times throughout the year. The reason I recommend it is because it gives you options. It means that you can use your Wi-Fi bulbs. It means that when you do start to pick up some Zigbee bulbs, they'll work straight with this Zigbee hub inside the Amazon Alexa. You don't need to go out and buy lots of different hubs. I always try and find things that will work with the Amazon Echo 4th Gen's hub because I don't want to start buying lots of hubs. I don't want to fill my home with loads of hubs. Now, I'm not saying I won't pick up another hub in the future, but for now, I always try and buy things that I know will work with this. Just because I've had it for a year, I've not had any issues with it. The devices that I've connected to it, I've never had any issues with them. It's quite affordable. I think I paid around £35 for it in the UK when it was on offer. It's constantly on offer on Amazon, so just look out for a deal for it. If you don't have one, definitely pick one up. If you already have a Zigbee hub, then obviously you don't need it. You can just use your Zigbee hub. But this is more for the people who are starting in smart homes or have a few sort of Wi-Fi items and are just trying to look to broaden their smart home. I would recommend this as one of my best purchases just because of how integrated it is to everything I set up around my smart home. I will leave a link for it in the description below, but like all the things I've recommended today, have a look at some reviews. Go on Amazon and check out some reviews and see for yourself which one suits you. The goal, for me anyway, is not to spend too much money and to still have a smart home that I think works really well. So I hope that you found this video useful. Please don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and until next time, thank you for watching.